Hello everybody, and welcome to another HustleNHoops team breakdown. Today, we're going to be talking about the Sacramento Kings. Now, let's just jump right into it with their core four. You got De'Aaron Fox, the lead guard, the number one guy, the soon-to-be all-star. Next to him, you got Domantas, Sabonis, relatively new face, playing at an extremely high level right now. Then you've got Keegan Murray, the rookie. You know, this is not necessarily by importance or value or skill level or production. You know, the star core pieces. I don't know what the fuck it is. But Keegan Murray is definitely up there for them, especially with the consistency that he's been playing at. And then you have Kevin Huerter and Malik Monk, who flamethrowers. Straight flamethrowers. Sacramento Kings, though, are 24-18, third in offensive rating at 117.3, 24th in defensive rating at 114.6, fourth in field goal percentage, ninth in three-point percentage. They were 25th in rebounding, 15th in defensive rebounding, third in assists, and 14th in turnovers. Mike Brown has come in and, completely revamped the Sacramento offense. Introducing a lot of off-ball screens, a lot of cuts, a lot of handoffs, and we can get into that. But shooting efficiency-wise, they're also doing quite well. They were second in drive field goal percentage at 53.5, tied for eighth in catch-and-shoot field goal percentage at 38.5, tied fourth in paint-touch field goal percentage at 69.1, second in post-touch field goal percentage at 59.3, and seventh in elbow-touch field goal percentage at 64.5. This team is shooting extremely well for the, pieces that they have. They are all playing their role very well, and they're executing their roles, their responsibilities very well each time, and it's impressive. It's definitely impressive. But you look at their play types, their shot dashboard, whatever you want to say, and in transition they were first in possessions. They were 25th, however, in points per possession. Even watching Sacramento games, I can't necessarily tell you why that is the case. We can get into De'Aaron Fox later. He's not the reason that they're not scoring well in the transition. I don't know. But they were first in handoff possessions as well at 10.6, which was by far the most in the league. Second in points per possession, so there you go, a little bit better there. And a lot of that has to do with Kevin Huerter just being a god and Malik Monk being relatively unstoppable on the offensive end. They were tied third in cut possessions and tied first in points per possession. Like I said with the last video, it's not that the max isn't high, it's that all the teams are around the same number. They're all high 1.2, 1.4, 1.1. Is probably like the lowest. But they were sixth in distance miles offense, so they are getting up and down the floor and moving the ball well in transition, and they were fifth in pace. So like I've said year after year after year, you got to just get this team running. You got to get this team running and allow De'Aaron Fox to do what he does. But yeah, you got Harrison Barnes still here, averaging 15, just giving his all on both ends of the floor. And, you got Chimezie Metu, shouts out, just a great defensive player. Does not make a lot of mistakes on that end. And then you got Terrence Davis, who's a sharpshooter and a pretty good defender, pretty good perimeter defender. You got Davion Mitchell, off night. What is he shooting from three? He's at 34% from three on 2.5 attempts, which is quite good for where he's at and where I think we expected him to be at. Sean Holmes, not really sure what happened. Obviously, Domantas, Sabonis, and him can't really play together, at least, for long periods of time. But, his 27 games played, he's averaged 8 minutes, 9 minutes. That's, I don't know. KZ Okpala from the Heat has been good, but, we know what you're here for. It's a deep dive. Let's just get right into it. De'Aaron has really grown into the role of a leader in the last few seasons with the way they're playing, with Sabonis as the primary playmaker. and De'Aaron as the primary attacker, there's not many middle-of-the-pack teams that can keep up with the Kings. Now, efficiency-wise, De'Aaron Fox was in the 96th percentile in touches per game, the 93rd percentile in scoring possessions per 75, the 94th percentile in stable PNR ball handler points per possession, the 98th percentile in handoff points per possession, the 91st percentile in stable post-up points per possession, and the 90th percentile in stable ISO points per possession. Obviously, De'Aaron's driving and interior game is where it all starts for him, with him being in the 96th percentile in drives per 75, and the 97th percentile in rim shot field goal percentage, with him shooting 75% at the rim. If he's looking to score, he doesn't often isolate this year. With him coming off screens and handoffs and post-ups more often, he is actually in the 71st percentile in total ISOs per 75. He's, however, also in the 93rd percentile in total ISO impacts per 75. So when he is getting those possessions, he is taking advantage of them. Now, we can also look at his floater shot, where he was in the 97th percentile in floater shot making, in the 98th percentile in floater shot creation. His mid-range shot, however, was a little bit more interesting, with him being in the 99th percentile in mid-range shot making and the 19th percentile in mid-range shot quality. He was in the 95th percentile in all mid-range shot field goal percentage. He's shooting 50% from all mid-range, and I believe it's 54% from the short mid. Now, before we talk about Sabonis, De'Aaron's passing has continued to be steady and efficient, with his ability to make the difficult screen reads off the screens, the skip passes, pushing it in transition, and when it comes to the offensive end, Fox's three-level scoring and playmaking and speed are crucial to Sacramento's offense. He was in the 91st percentile in assist points per 75, the 91st percentile in potential assists per 100 passes. He was in the 90th percentile in passing creation volume, and the 92nd percentile in passing efficiency, and the 85th percentile in passing versatility. De'Aaron does have one aspect of his game, though, that I do want to highlight today. And obviously, there are other aspects of his game to talk about, but there's one that I want to talk about specifically is his perimeter shooting. While he was in the 92nd percentile in three-point pull-up shot quality and the 88th percentile in three-point pull-up shot creation, it's not like he's shooting that well from three. I mean, he's shooting 33% on 5 attempts a game. You know, I don't want to put a lot of pressure on De'Aaron Fox. He's averaging 24. He's an all-star this year, and he's leading Sacramento to, possibly a playoff seed. But the perimeter shooting is definitely interesting. It's definitely interesting. Now, we got a double deep dive today. Yeah. Domantas Sabonis, having an absolutely monster season with Sacramento. Domantas is straight up easily the best big De'Aaron has had in his 5 years with Sacramento. He was in the 97th percentile in points per shot, 94th percentile in points per possession, 94th percentile in stable spot-up points per possession, 98th percentile in stable post-up points per possession, 84th percentile in stable ISO points per possession, 89th percentile in stable cut point per possession, and 98th percentile in stable PNR roll man points per possession. But it's Sabonis. How much do I have to explain that he loves to post or face you up, hit you with a spin or a flurry of pivots, and then a beautiful hook shot? He was in the 88th percentile in total post frequency, 91st percentile in paint touches per 75, and the 94th percentile in post-up impact per 75. Now, Sabonis was in the 81st percentile in team roll man share percentage, the 93rd percentile in team roll man impact per 75, and the 96th percentile in screen assist per 75. He's actually averaging around 21 ball screens set a game with his 4 primary partners. So obviously there's more, but with the 4 primary partners, he's averaging 21 a game. And while that might not be as high as players that we've looked at, such as Jokic or Embiid or KD, his impact is still there. And it's just as high as those other guys, to be completely honest, this year, when looking at the pick and roll impact. Is what I'm saying. He was in the 95th percentile in assist points per 75, the 99th percentile in RA potential assists per 100 possessions. He was in the 92nd percentile in passing creation volume and the 99th percentile in passing efficiency. He was also in the 93rd percentile in box creation. Domantas' passing has been one aspect of the many strong individual performances of the Sacramento Kings. Their shooters, Malik and Herter, are straight flamethrowers, like I said, with Sabonis' passing out of the high post and right and left elbow. Out of his 194 assists so far this year, 114 come from the high post or the right and left elbow. So, Sabonis is going to, like I said earlier, post you or face you up, and he likes to do that from either side, or from the high post, or from the top of the key, or from the left block. I mean, realistically, Sabonis is going to give you a bucket or get an assist anywhere on the court, because when you surround him with, De'Aaron Fox's speed and finishing ability and mid-range shot taking and making, and then you add in these dynamic shooters in Malik Monk and Kevin Huerter, yeah, this is an extremely exciting Sacramento team and a very fun team to watch. And if you're not watching Sacramento basketball, I don't know what to tell you. It's on you. But those were some stats. Talked about the game. Talked about the Sacramento Kings. It's chicken wraps.